It's going to feature the return of CM Punk teaming with FTR against Samoa Joe, Juice Robinson, and Jay White. Obviously, I know you're not going to get into the weeds on this, but were there periods over these last 9-10 months that you would have thought it would be pretty surreal days out that we would be talking about the ability to have CM Punk in an AEW ring in a wrestling capacity once again? Or were you the eternal optimist during all of these months?
Well, I'm very excited for the match this Saturday. I'm very excited for CM Punk's return to the ring, and I think it's a great trios match. You have CM Punk teaming with the AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR, one of the greatest trios in wrestling when they get together, I believe, and going up against a new trio that is very exciting to have Jay White and Juice Robinson coming off one of the biggest wins we've seen for Jay White since he arrived in AEW. I think probably the biggest win he's had in AEW, and this is somebody who's had great wins all over the world and built a great reputation. And with Jay White and Juice Robinson now, they've become a really hot unit as the Bullet Club Gold, and to have them teaming up with Samoa Joe, who is a top name in the world of pro wrestling and brings so much to the table, and to have Samoa Joe, who's a huge star, out there against one of his greatest rivals, CM Punk. And I think that works both ways. I believe Samoa Joe is also one of CM Punk's greatest rivals. I think it's just a great, great opening match to have, opening main event, rather, to have a great main event like this, to launch a great show. I think if we open up with a strong show, we have a chance to get off to a strong start for Collision. And I think for a variety of reasons, I'm very excited we're able to offer this match and able to put it on TV on Saturday night on TNT. I think the timing of CM Punk recovering from the tricep injury and the launch of the show is very, very good. When they came to us and we started talking about the dates, I realized this would line up with about the time he would be hopefully ready to come back and return to the ring. And he's been working really hard to get back in the ring. And obviously there are things that have happened outside of the ring that, you know, you might want me to talk about that I cannot talk about, but I would love to talk about the wrestling show. And I'm very excited to have this match on TNT on Saturday night.
Yeah, and I respect that you cannot get into all of the specifics, but we are going into, there is such a giant elephant in the room regarding All Out. And does that help or does that hurt if we're not going to go in that direction? Because I think your audience is tuning in Saturday night, and that is going to be a big reason why, is to hear from this individual.
Well, it's a great point. I think people are going to want to hear from CM Punk, and people are going to want to see him get involved in big matches and jump into big stories. And I think definitely the rivalry between CM Punk and Samoa Joe, very interesting. We've seen a budding rivalry with FTR, against a number of top teams in AEW. But I think with them having retained the championship at Double or Nothing, and with Jay White coming off such a huge win, and Jay White and Juice Robinson as a team being red hot, we saw they had a run-in with FTR a few weeks ago at the pay-per-view at Double or Nothing after FTR retained the championship. And I felt like that also planted another seed for this match. Certainly, though, people are always going to go back to that rivalry between CM Punk and Samoa Joe. People have been talking about it even before Samoa Joe arrived in AEW. And not long after that, CM Punk got injured. And at Double or Nothing, Samoa Joe hadn't really been here very long when CM Punk's foot was broken that week. And I do think this match is a huge main event, and people are going to be very interested to see what happens. It's very, very exciting for us to be able to put this match on the first episode of Collision on Saturday, which, we were just talking about ratings, and this past Wednesday was a very, very good number for us. I'm hopeful we can get another good number for tonight's episode of Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS and, build off that and hopefully keep some good momentum going into Saturday for Collision.
With the debut on Saturday of Collision, it seems like there's a good opportunity to have that match maybe in the main event and another segment where CM Punk is talking on the microphone. I'm sure people are really anticipating hearing from him. Can you say whether fans should expect to hear from Punk on the microphone on Saturday?
I don't want to say too much yet. I do think it would make a lot of sense, though. And I know fans are going to be excited to hear from CM Punk. Obviously, that match is in the main event, so that does leave us opportunities in the lead up to the show to do that. And I think, I have to admit it would make a lot of sense.
It's that time of the show where we tell you about the Post Wrestling Cafe, the best place to drop your $6 every month for bonus content.
It's a busy week this week. We've got the double shot with our Dark Side of the Ring review. We've got Rewind Away on Thursday, Rewind of SmackDown on Friday, and on Saturday, a brand new show.
It's the launch of our new weekly AEW Collision review with 2 hosts that will be joining me. Go to postwrestlingcafe.com and video.postwrestling.com to subscribe.